Welcome to CTV News, your Canada. It's Wednesday, July 23rd. We'll bring you profiles of fascinating Canadians and stories about your community. Thanks for watching.
Members of the Jewish Motorcyclist Alliance are touring Holocaust museums across North America, carrying a piece of art to each one.
We are transferring the Circle of High, which is like a circle of life, or you can say an eternal fire of the Jewish people.
The trip started in North Carolina with 21 stops in total. All but one, the 17th stop here in Toronto, are in the U.S., with the final destination in Washington, D.C.
I am the guy with the real thing.
Reese Galad, the ride captain of this portion of the ride, is carrying the art piece.
This Circle of High would have traveled 10,000 miles. Now we are at 8,900 miles.
Andy Rayty is a Holocaust survivor and riding this leg of the journey.
This motorcycle tour, this motorcycle rally, this motorcycle camaraderie is meant to dispel some of the myths about Jews.
The ride is done as a relay with the art piece like a baton. Different groups take on stages of the trip, carrying the Circle of High to each one while raising awareness and funds for Holocaust education.
This year, we commemorate the 80th anniversary of the liberation of the concentration camps.
The Circle of High was chosen specifically for this tour.
It's a circle representing the circle of life. However, you may ask, why is it broken in places? It's broken, symbolizing the pogroms, the genocide, the tragedies levied against the Jewish people throughout the millennia.
Accepting it alongside the executive director of the Toronto Holocaust Museum is Nate Leipziger, a Holocaust survivor and new member of the Order of Canada.
It's a wonderful thing that they're taking from city to city and making the world aware of what happened and what is happening to anti-Semitism today.
The next stop is in Oswego, New York. Allison Hurst, CTV News.
Dubai du Nord has pistachios, dark chocolate, cornflake crunch, and raspberry coulis.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Unique combinations served from a cool container is what to expect at Simma Ice Cream counter in Prévost. It all started out as Simone Grolot's high school grad project, which she presented to City Council.
It can help in the city with the young kids and create jobs offer and things like that. So they thought it was a very good idea.
She even got permission to park the rented container next to the Metro store.
The ice cream machine and all the other stuffs, I buy them by myself.
Bought everything with $20,000, money saved from her previous summer jobs, none of which were ice cream related. And then she hired a staff of 6, including Anne-Sophie Aymon, who layers on the treats. So it's ice cream plus candy?
Yeah.
And the kids, what do the kids say?
They love it. They really do.
Oui, c'est vraiment bon.
On a sunny day, the counter is busy with curious people. Some who've come from the Petit Train du Nord bike path next door.
Les encourager, puis je suis certaine que ça doit être très bon aussi.
The young entrepreneurship.
Je voulais encourager, dans le fond, la jeune entrepreneur, là.
Grolot is keeping the counter open every day until September, when she starts CEGEP.
She works almost every day to help here, so it's really nice. It's a hard job, it's harder than I thought.
Maybe the hardest part is that even with vegan treats on the menu, Grolot needs to taste everything, and she's lactose intolerant.
I make all my recipes, so it's I need to taste them for sure. So I take lactates and yeah, it's a funny story.
Too young to get a business loan, yet mature enough to make a difference. Christine Long, CTV News.
From a distance, Elbow Lake looks like any other body of water. A closer look, however, shows the presence of blue-green algae. The lake in Stillwater Lake, Nova Scotia, is the latest to be added to the list of sites where the bacteria has been identified.
As a department, we've received about 30 reports of suspected blue-green algal blooms.
19 of them have been confirmed across the province by the Department of Environment and Climate Change. That's less than this time last year.
We had a very early hot spell in Nova Scotia in 2024, and that translated to an early bump in the rise of actual and reported blooms. So we didn't have a hot early start to 2025.
Officials with the city of Halifax are also seeing a decrease in reported cases.
We've had some beaches that were closed almost for the entire summer last year, and so this year we've actually only had one instance of blue-green algae at our beaches.
That was at Oakfield Park Beach. Where present, lifeguards play a role in keeping people safe before they enter the water.
When we have blue-green algae closures at beach, the lifeguards will stay on scene to suggest people that they stay out of the water.
Blue-green algae, also known as cyanobacteria, are naturally occurring microscopic bacteria that are common to freshwater lakes, rivers, and streams. Coming into contact with it can cause some minor health problems.
There would typically be limited to things like irritations of your skin or nose and throat, and they can cause diarrhea or rashes.
Cameron Dekoff recommends checking the province's website for locations where the bacteria has been identified. Blue-green algae tends to be present from May to October. And Todd, if anyone finds what they think might be blue-green algae, they are encouraged to take a photo of it, then call the nearest office of the Department of Environment and Climate Change to report it.
It's a steady stream of visitors, people coming.
I mean, I've never seen a lobster that looks like that ever before in my whole life.
And going in big numbers.
This weekend we had the record number of visitors for this whole summer.
They are witnessing firsthand this colorful combination straight from the sea. Meet moon mist and bingo, two rare multicolored lobsters.
How rare? I don't know. Maybe you know?
Actually, we do. Moon mist is 1 in 100 million. Bingo is 1 in 50 million.
I'd seen like blue lobsters before, but I'd never seen one like bingo that was split like perfectly down the tail, two different colors.
What do they call it? Bingo is named after a character in a children's TV show. Moon mist resembles the color of Moon Mist ice cream, so the name stuck.
It's a classic Nova Scotia ice cream.
Both lobsters were caught by local fishermen and donated to this facility by a seafood store. They have quickly become a major attraction, a draw for people to visit this side of Halifax Harbor during the busy summer season.
They can go and visit the lobsters in the touch tank and see what's in the sea around us, and then they'll hopefully stop for an ice cream.
Moon Mist ice cream?
Maybe Moon Mist ice cream.
As Moon Mist and Bingo continue their starring roles providing entertainment for tourists and visitors, we can also tell you they are not here for a long time. Both will be released back into the Atlantic Ocean at the end of the holiday weekend on August 4th. Paul Hollingsworth, CTV News.
All aboard the first Caldwell Powwow bus tour.
And there's opportunities to teach, we're going to do it.
Caldwell First Nation teaming up with the Windsor Port Authority and Tourism Windsor-Essex Pelee Island to highlight many hidden and ancient Indigenous sites.
Education isn't just about reading in books or learning something in school. When you hear the stories directly from the First Nations, it has more meaning and it's more accurate.
The last stop, the first powwow to be held on the Caldwell First Nation Reserve in Leamington.
We're showcasing dancers, our culture, our heritage, drummers, our food, and so it's a time for us to bring people together. It's not just for our community, it's not just for First Nations people, it's for everybody to come and enjoy and learn a little bit about us, enjoy the atmosphere, enjoy everything that the powwow has to offer.
The event is scheduled on August 9th and 10th. The bus tour is free, but entrance into the powwow is $10 per person.
And what we're hoping to do is plant a little seed with this powwow, and every year watch that it grow a little more and more, and the unity between First Nations and the surrounding communities coming together.
Ticket information and departure details can be found on our website, ctvnewswindsor.ca.
It really demonstrates that reconciliation is happening today. It's reconciliation in action.
It was removed from display about a month ago and will be going back within the next month or two.
A handful of public art pieces in Edmonton are waiting to be repaired.
This piece was installed about 12 years ago in Belgravia Park. and it was bright and colorful at that time, but because it was exposed, it had southern exposure to the sun, full exposure actually, it faded quite quickly.
The Edmonton Arts Council takes care of our city's public art. If the work can't be done on site, it's brought to the warehouse. They work on the piece with the original artist if possible. If that's not an option, they turn to a helping hand.
So the thing is that I didn't want to use my own hand, but the thing is that I'm not a sculptor.
Mitra Saidi is a public art conservator. Her role is to assess the situation, develop a restoration plan, and carry out the work. Sometimes she has to get creative. The statue was missing its arm. She used a cast of her own arm and hand for its base.
We cover on top of that to bring it close to what was the original one.
She's working on a vision of hope, which needs a lot of repairs.
This hand is like this. And we had one of the pieces at the side that we could find it. And it will be placed here.
The outdoor pieces see a lot of wear and tear due to the weather, human touch, or vandalism. Sometimes they need new body parts. Others just need the exterior refinished.
We'll be doing some, what we call a hot wax treatment on it, where we clean it, hit it with a torch and some wax, and that will protect the patina.
The goal is to get the statues back in their original locations as soon as possible, so it can stand or sit proudly in its true home. Nair Misa, CTV News, Edmonton.
The weather isn't ideal, but it's not stopping Edie Simonton and Dolores Rayburn from heading out on a ride. The two are covered up and protected from the rain, while Claude Laflamme pilots the trishaw.
We need the fresh air and being able to get around in the outside, because you're inside all the time.
The two are out for a short half-hour ride, but can go for an hour on a sunny day.
What does it feel like? Freedom. Yeah, like you're doing it yourself.
Laflamme has volunteered piloting the trishaw for over a year and enjoys riding around High River because it's flat and there's a beautiful trail system.
Also, there's a wonderful downtown, and we cycle. We can stop for coffee, stop for ice cream, lemonade stands. So we have a wonderful time.
The Cycling Without Age program is a hit at Seasons High River and its 180 residents.
So every Tuesday, they provide rides for us at 2 p.m. and we have 4 people that get to go on that wonderful ride, and we're all the way booked up until mid-August, so it's very special.
The town of High River purchased 2 bikes in 2017 and started slow with 3 trained pilots. Now it has 11 volunteer pilots with others signed up and training, and that means more rides for residents.
With the goal of just reconnecting our seniors and people with different levels of accessibility back to their community and back to nature, and just getting them out and enjoying the wind in their hair.
Laflamme enjoys riding the electric assist bike and sharing stories with passengers. He's hopeful to take advantage of the program when he needs it. Kevin Fleming, CTV News, High River.
I'll make it to the Rideau in one piece.
Walking through the Byward Market, it's not Susan Kenning's favorite place to be.
Don't feel safe. I don't stay down very long. I do what I have to do and head out.
She's not alone, and those concerns helped lead to a new police hub at the Rideau Centre. It's 1 year later, so is it working?
Pretty safe, yeah. Really good, yeah. It was necessary, and it's a good thing.
At La Bottega, owner Pat Nicastro says the increased police presence and foot patrols have made a difference.
People like to see them, visitors like to see them. They're friendly, they get asked, they get stopped, they get asked questions. If there's an issue, they're close by. And that's what the businesses want to see.
Yeah, I believe it's cleaned it up a bit, yes, but I'm still nervous.
Many here say more vulnerable people are coming to the market.
We've been promoting the fact that if you help the homeless or the vulnerable population first, you help everyone.
The Lowertown Community Association says it has long partnered with police, the city, and other community groups to build lasting solutions.
They need short-term housing outside of the city core with support services. So whatever we do here in downtown, Lowertown, the Byward Market, we need to help deliver social services better.
For now, as summer peaks with millions visiting the market, police presence is a welcome sight.
We're happy. There's people down here and there's lots of tourists. Things are good.
I don't think people would bring children around if it wasn't safe, right?
Now, the Byward Market District Association says pre-pandemic levels of foot traffic have returned, with more than 22 million visits this past year. And while challenges do remain, many are hopeful the market's vibrancy continues to flourish.
Heather Arnold says drivers go too fast on her street, even though she lives in a school zone with a crosswalk.
Most are doing 60, and Saturdays and evenings, it's whatever they want to do.
Now the city is set to install some temporary structures known as calming curbs to slow traffic, including on Arnold Street, Chancellor Drive.
It's just the fact that there's a straight line, a long straight line, and they just speed.
The pre-made curbs, also known as extensions or bump outs, look like this. They are yellow, made of concrete with signs and posts. They're being placed in more than a dozen locations where speeding is a problem, intersections have wide corners, and visibility is poor at crosswalks. The idea is by narrowing the lanes of traffic, drivers are forced to slow down in order to navigate the road.
They basically slow down traffic and make it safer.
Mark Coho of Bike Winnipeg believes narrowing the road will help curb speeding and make it safer for cyclists and pedestrians.
I've definitely heard people, especially near schools, where they've said that, yeah, having that bump out, gets people from out behind the parked cars, makes them more visible.
But this could be a tough sell for some drivers who worry about the new infrastructure getting in the way.
The only way to really slow down vehicular traffic is to change the built environment. And that's what we're doing. People aren't going to like it. I just say slow down.
Heather Arnold has a permanent curb bump out near her house. She says it hasn't made much of a difference. She'd rather have speed bumps because right now, only one thing seems to work.
When the geese cross the street, they slow down.
Josie Brooks, a Regina bowler, is returning home with her second Masters win in 3 years. On June 27th, she won the 5-pin Canadian Masters Ladies Singles Tournament in Surrey, British Columbia. 2023 was her first Masters win in St. John's, Newfoundland, where it was down to the wire. This time around, she won by 17 in the final game.
I was more prepared for this one as well. Leading up, I put a lot of work into the mental side of it and like the mental physical prep, whereas before, of course, I put work in, but I kind of knew the exact kind of work that I needed to put into this one opposed to the last time.
Now, June 27th was also an emotional day for Josie, as that was her grandma's birthday, who was also a bowler herself, but she unfortunately passed away 6 years ago. Her grandma isn't the only bowler in her family. Brooks comes from a long line of bowlers, including her dad, Bill, who has been there every step of the way.
I actually, with her success, and just to know that she's so confident within herself, I don't have to worry about necessarily how she's feeling on the lanes. I know she's fine. So the less I have to worry about her, it kind of makes it a lot easier for me.
Training since she was 5 years old, Josie has learned how to balance the mental side of the game, something that has become more important since she started competing professionally in 2019.
But as soon as you let go of that ball, the crowd erupts, and it's such a wonderful feeling to know that there's support behind you and you're not really just doing it by yourself.
The feeling she is giving to the next generation of bowlers is teaching the younger generation to perhaps be the next great champion from Regina. Damian Smith, CTV News, Regina.
2 assisted living facilities are opening up in Nipawin First Nation. The first is in Duchesne. It's called Where the People Are Cared For. 10 seniors will live here who have light assisted living needs.
This will alleviate some of the burden on long-term care homes and other assisted facilities.
Each unit has its own bed and washroom. The lodges will have 24/7 staffing from nurses, PSWs, and other support workers. Meals, cleaning, and recreational programming will take place, and there's the possibility of basic medical care through the First Nations Home and Community Care Initiative.
Provide extra support for either medication distribution or whatever needs that they may require for wound care and mobility.
The second lodge will be in Garden Village, and it will be opening up later this year. In 2023, the First Nation secured close to $7 million from the Canadian Mortgage and Housing Corporation for both projects.
We'll now have a lot more applications because people didn't know what the building looked like or what services were offered.
The First Nation heard directly from community feedback that there was a shortage of housing for seniors who need help with basic care.
Keep our seniors at home and in the community longer before they require long-term care, so that they can stay with their loved ones and reduce isolation.
Dr. Lalonde says in the future she would like to see an increased level of care at one of the two facilities to long-term for residents who need it to fill that critical gap.
We're really excited to have this open for the community, and I know the community's been really excited. This has been decades in the making.
Eric Tashner, CTV News, Nipawin First Nation.
Natalie Meyer was leaving a boring college party early when she happened to meet Juan Lucio, who was doing the same.
And then we just started talking, and it was just like so nice.
And by the time they'd stopped their impromptu walk around the college campus, the international students had started falling in love.
We started a conversation that never ended.
Natalie was 17, Juan 18, and after 3 dynamic months at school in Canada, she had to return to Holland and he Colombia.
And we would call sometimes, but it was very expensive.
So they wrote countless letters to each other over the next couple of years until the distance caused them to grow apart.
It's hard. It really is.
Yeah, I was very unhappy.
Over the following decades, both started families with other people. But after Natalie's marriage ended, she found herself wondering about Juan.
And I was just really curious how he was doing.
She found him on Facebook and sent a message.
I was very excited.
You see, Juan was also divorced and had been trying to reconnect with Natalie too, but couldn't find her online because her name had changed. He called her as soon as he could.
And 30 seconds later, I feel as if time had not passed.
Natalie felt the same, so they started writing regularly, phoning daily, and exchanging songs online. It began with Natalie sending this reimagining of Vivaldi's Spring and Juan sharing a Puerto Rican ballad about love that can never be forgotten.
We really connected or started to connect through music.
But before their soundtrack of love could grow into a playlist spanning 51 hours, they agreed to connect in person.
Really, really nervous.
While Natalie waited for Juan at the airport, a camera from a Dutch TV show just happened to capture their reunion, 35 years in the making.
It was so wonderful. It was wonderful.
I felt like I was coming home.
And now, Natalie and Juan are back in BC for their college reunion and celebrating 3 years of having a second chance at first love.
Well, I think love works in mysterious ways. Through time, through places, and through cultures. It's just very magical.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Victoria.